Conagra holding up pretty nicely here today. This FIs that Ari was just talking about, UNP looking decent. These are the stocks that are strong to the market right now. Dr. Pepper. Again, I did take some Palantir puts here going against me at the moment.
Members watching Freddie Me, Freddie Mac. Besson says hinting that eventually
Walmart also moving up here a little bit today.
This is being circulated on the FMCC, FMNA.
Bloom Energy down pretty hard. Lumen down pretty hard. Wayfair, big pull down here, then a bounce, and now it's pulling back down again. And the options are not tradable. At least they weren't the last time I looked on Wayfair. A lot of tech stocks selling off here today. Palantir, a little bounce up to the 8 here. Triple Q's, a little bounce.
Members, just a quick heads up. The JOLTS number is rescheduled to January. Correction. The January JOLTS number is rescheduled to February 5th, and the January employment report for February 11th.
A little bounce in the Q's here. Still Q's down pretty large here today, 1.6%. That's a pretty big drop in the Q's. My Palantir short could have been timed a little bit better as it's bouncing up. Silver bouncing just a bit. I still got a sell order on silver at $100 a contract profit. Let's see if it gets there. Coming up on 12 o'clock. So again, watching Palantir. I'm short Palantir. I'm short. I'm straddle on silver. I get silver set to take a profit if it gets up $100 a contract today. Right now, silver's I get in at 778. It's trading at 738 right now. 738. So it's up about 748 now, but it's $70. Whoops. Had my mic off. Sorry. Again, I'm silver. I've got a sell order at 778. It's at 738. Palantir. I don't have a sell order yet. I paid 281 for it. It's down to 229. These things can be pretty volatile. Remember, this is out of the money that I took in Palantir. It's an own cat, and I maybe should have rethought that and taken in the money just because of the fact that there wasn't a lot of volume. But I thought about that at the time. But I took the out of the monies anyway. We'll see where it goes. Down about $50 a contract on that right now. But a lot of stocks bouncing a bit here that have been beaten up. Past Tesla bounced somewhat. Wayfair, but you can see bounced up there, but it's pulling back down again. But doesn't have the volume that it had before. QUBT also bounced up. Against 890 is a resistance level on QUBT. And Palantir's got a little bit of room. 142.34 is the next resistance level on Palantir. Hopefully it'll drop before that. Hey, good trade on Palantir. Hit at 262 out at 312. Yeah, that's very nice. $50 a contract. Excellent on that. That's almost 20%. Very nice. Huh. YouTube says they're not getting the feed on YouTube today. That's kind of weird. I mean, on my screen it looks fine. That's weird. Jonathan, you can see, yeah, I have Palantir up over here. He's in YouTube, and some of the YouTube folks say they're not seeing anything. It's just spinning. If I switch it over to the SPY, can I see that? Can you see that, Jonathan? It's bounced up over the 8 here, right to the 15 right now. See what the Q's doing the same thing. Again, you know how this 8 and 15 works. A lot of times when you go through the 8, the 15 ends up being resistance levels for it. Watching Palantir also doing the same thing through the 8, hitting the 15, and right now starting to retrace. We'll see if it does. QUBT also bounced up a little bit here. Tesla with a small bounce. Nothing too big though. Bank stock, FITB. Silver bounced up a little bit. Again, I got the 81 puts and 81 calls, so I'm in the money on the put side, and I'd prefer to see it keep going down here. Again, these expire Friday, so I'm actually looking to take advantage of any kind of a gap. If I can't get out today, take any kind of a gap up or a gap down. Hey Mandinka, you said you couldn't. Stream is not working properly. Everybody else has said say it's okay. I had some of the folks from Rightline log into it and look at it, and it's working fine on their end. It may be an issue with you. I'm not sure technically what the issue would be, but everybody else seems to be okay with it. Palantir starting to push back down again a little bit. I like to see this thing flush again. I have some support on it at on Palantir down at 134.14. Still a ways away. $4, more than $4. Okay, let's see if we can get some questions here. Yep, so far not much. This is a tough market to trade now. Market is again very weak. Well, this is definitely a rotation out of tech stocks and into stocks like this Procter and Gamble, General Mills, the what's called the consumer discretionary stocks, where people put their money when they're concerned about the economy, basically, worry about the stocks. A lot of these AI stocks have gotten pretty extended. The SanDisk coming down this morning, down quite a bit here. 11%, that's a pretty big drop. This stock has been unbelievably volatile. SanDisk is down $82 right now today, bouncing down, coming right down toward the 8 exponential moving average. Right. Again, SPY trying to bounce a little bit here. Triple Q's also trying to bounce it right up to the 15. Again, I'm in Palantir short. Need this thing to pull back. It's just kind of moving right up toward the 15. Hasn't really done anything dramatic here. And again, Fig, I'm in for short. It's a 19 expiring Friday, and I'm still in silver straddle. Mandinga, you're okay. Mandinga, you're okay now? Good, good. We've got a bunch of noise in the house here. I gotta stop the mic for a bit. Yes, Sarang. Again, I'm sorry for the noise here, but Sarang points out even though the bounce is by current time frame, momentum has been red. It has been red through here, but notice that it's blue here. But look at where the indicator is. You see how far down this is? This is only blue because it's above 20 and slightly sloping up. But as soon as this thing turns and slopes down, it's going to go back to yellow again, and then back to red if it gets back to 20. And it's definitely bearish. The market is bearish here, obviously. We're having bounces, but it's pretty bearish. I'm still in Palantir, which is starting to come back down again. And I'm in FIG. This is a kind of a speculative $19 put expiring Friday, but I get it for $15, and we'll see where it goes. About 12:24 here, coming up in 12:24. See if we get any questions over on the YouTube side. Everybody's okay there. Good deal. Again, we've had an interesting day here today. The market's very weak. This is a technical rotation here. We have institutions rotating out of tech stocks and rotating into consumer defensive stocks mostly. General Mills, Coke, Pepsi, stocks that are considered consumer defensive. We also have a bounce in oil here today as well. Oxy's up a little bit. USO is actually down just a bit, but all of the stocks related to that, most of them are up this morning. ConocoPhillips up, ExxonMobil up. Silver's been pretty erratic. FCX, which is Freeport McMoran Copper, is down today 3% after a bounce yesterday. Silver is retracing today as well. Down, it's up 0.96%, but it's retracing on the daily chart. If you look on the daily chart here on silver, again, I took a straddle on silver for Friday, an 81 put, 81 call this morning when it bounced, but it looks like it's trying to roll back over again, and we'll see. But I'm just looking for either a big move or a gap up or down in the morning, so we'll see where that does. And again, I'm in Palantir short for an intraday trade on an UMCAT type trade, out of the monies on Palantir, and I traded Tesla twice today short. It's definitely a short, and I've traded it a couple of times short. It's been moving down pretty nicely. Pretty good volume. See these? This is my TC2000, but see these yellow and white candles. Anything yellow is 120% of volume. Look how many blue ones on here. Sometimes it goes blue if it's 150%. But anyway, those are the only trades I've taken today so far, and all in all, not bad. Not bad day right now. Bitcoin still coming in, coin down this morning significantly, almost 7%. Bitcoin really getting clobbered. Cryptos in general really getting clobbered. CN is selling off today, down about $85. Palantir is starting to push down a little bit now. Again, I paid $285, $281 for the Palantir. 135 puts. 135 puts. I paid $281. Again, this is an OMCAT trade. I'd like to see some yellow here on those candlesticks. Oil just popped up. And my Palantir, I paid $281. They're at $317 right now. We'll see if we can get this to pull down. I have support on Palantir. And let me see where it is. $134.14. $134.14. So about $3 to the downside. So if it gets down another dollar from here, I'll probably take profits.
The nuclear talks with Iran were canceled.
Okay, so oil's going up because the nuclear talks with Iran were canceled. There's a bump. There's this USO that's oil popping, and you're gonna probably see some pops here in Oxy, Conoco, all of the oil-related stocks, EQT, all these stocks will pounce here. Again, these are algos pushing this right now.
Remember, following those headline circulations, we are seeing volatility in oil, downtick in markets. Oil now up over 1.75%.
So a big move in oil.
This is coming from an Axios reporter. It says nuclear talks were canceled on Friday due to the Iranians' refusal to engage in non-nuclear issues.
Palantir pulling down, so giving me a little bit of a break here. Palantir's, I'm up about $40 a contract on Palantir. Silver looks like it's bounced a little bit. Oops. Yeah, man, a little bit, not much. Again, I paid $6.78 for it. Trading at $7.05 right now, so I'm up just a little bit on it. I may hold that just, if I don't get a good profit today, I'll just hold it overnight and see if I can get a gap. I'm watching Palantir right now. I got a sell order at $385. That may be a little bit aggressive. I'll just watch and see what it does. I'll take profits on this pullback. All right, get some questions here. I missed a bunch of questions. I don't know why. IWM, SPY IWM around yesterday's low. Q is, yeah, they're selling off the Q's high today.
Axios says plans for Iran nuclear talks are collapsing.
Copper still bearish, yep, down 3.2%. Bitcoin another sell-off, down almost 5%. Yep, all of these, a lot of the stuff is selling off. Sarang in Tesla, big coming down. Yeah, not getting a lot of volume though. And we're getting volume somewhere. So, we're getting volume in all the oil stocks. So Oxy putting in a big white candle there, and USO also putting in a big white. But again, these are algos. Be careful. This is all based on the fact that the Iranian talks have been canceled, and so the algos are reacting to that, pushing up oil and pushing the market down. They're saying this stocks are collapsing. Who knows? So again, oil is the thing that's going to react the most. Volunteer's still coming down here. I'm going to take profits in this if it starts to hesitate again. I much prefer to have yellow candles here, and without that, I'm probably just going to take profits on this drop. As soon as it tries to bounce again, I'm going to take it off. Again, I have support at 134.14, so it's still about $2 to the downside. But right now, I'm in those at 281. Is that right? Yeah, 281, and they're trading at 330 right now, which is not bad. I mean, that's I'm about $50 a contract on it.
Says a deal with Iran may not be possible.
Is Coke still doing pretty well today? Pepsi, a lot of this money going in here. But again, oil's the thing that took the big bounce here. It's still going, based on these Iran talks collapsing. You get user reports that indicate problems at OpenAI in the U.S. So yeah, so the Iran thing is what's spooking the oil market right now. Palantir still short here. MU still coming in pretty hard. WDC coming in pretty hard. LRCX, and all the semis are down really pretty hard here today. AVGO, another semi hood coming in. Tesla continuing down. Very big sell-off here on the Qs. Very big sell-off on the Qs. The Qs right now are down 2.19%. This is a big. If we've seen these candles before, let's look at the Qs over historically here. A big candle here, most likely tariff related. Big bounce. Nice move up, pulled right back down. Big pink candles right down to the 100-day moving average, and we bounce back up again. Then a big gap down right to the 100-day moving average, and then we move up again to the all-time high. Big move down yesterday and a big flush down today below the 100-day moving average. This is again, we've seen this picture quite a few times before here on these patterns. Why it's so hard to be long any swing trades up here, because they just get clobbered right away. When I remember I said it, we got to a new all-time high. That's fine, but the problem is every time we've done that, we've had a significant pullback. And right here, and here's another one. So this is really killing us right now. There's the XLE. See that, the energy sector moving up beautifully today. XLF, not too bad. XLK, not so good. That's technical. That's the technology, really getting smoked. All right, so this is what we're dealing with from a swing standpoint. Why haven't I taken a lot of swings? I noticed that I've had people tell me I haven't had any alerts, hardly any alerts recently. It's very difficult to put trades on that you're going to hold overnight. Really, I mean, I like this Schwab weekly ATM, but it's very hard to put swings on because they keep getting clobbered. So intraday trading has been where it's at right now, and unfortunately, a lot of people can't intraday trade because they don't have big enough size accounts. So we can do straddles, we can do some strangles, things like that for overnight, and also time spreads if we can find some decent earnings to trade off of that have a good implied volatility. But other than that, again, I'm focusing on day trades right now, intraday trades, and just using the UMCAT strategy and the SPY Super System on stocks. I haven't been using the SPY Super System the last couple of days on the indexes because they're really, really tough to trade. They've been so much bouncing around on them, but that's where we are. IWM SPY through the previous day's low. Gold still holding the 8 on the D1. Yeah, gold has not been has not got hit as bad today. It's right on the 15 right now. Silver is down below it and still dropping. Again, I've got a strangle on silver, and if it keeps going down today, I'm going to take it off and perhaps put another one on later. Tesla in at Sarang in at 450 out of 550. Nice, very nice trade. That's the stock I've traded twice today. Tesla short. Rimkamas, you don't have the data fixed on SPY D1 using the VOO. Yeah, looks like the SMA 50 was breached on VOO, and did it get breached on the SPY? Yeah, SPY is here's the SPY. The SPY is well below the 50-day moving average. On TC 2000 right here, well below the 50-day moving average. And if you're using VOO, because your SPY is messed up, it looks exactly the same as the SPY. That's S&P 500 as produced by Vanguard. But yeah, we're below the 50, we're coming down toward the 100. The Qs have gone through the 100. This is another big sell-off in the market. Very ugly day. And yesterday was ugly too, with a little bounce at the end of the day, and then we pulled right back down again today. Palantir flushing down some more here. Let me look at my Palantir. Okay, getting into 281 again. I got a 385 sell order on it. It's at 358 right now. Hey, well, I'm not sure what your Taranex. Anyway, you're talking about making a thumbnail that you gave one to Rory yesterday for thumbnail. I assume the thumbnail sets the stand. This comes up in YouTube. I'm not sure what my thumbnail even looks like on YouTube. I assume it's an owl, but I'm not sure. But you can always make them. Rory liked the one you did for him, I guess. I don't know where that falls into my. I don't even see my thumbnail. I guess when you go into YouTube, you can see it there. Hey, you're out of SanDisk, Nessie? Yeah. That thing has been quite brutal here lately. Coming down today, right back to the 8 on the daily chart. Down 90 points today. I'm out of Palantir. I just took Palantir off. Out of Palantir, nice profit in Palantir. Oops, I'm out of Palantir for 350. In at 281, out of 350. I'm not going to suffer through this bounce here. And I had my mic off while I was talking to somebody on YouTube. You're looking for, you're talking about making a thumbnail for me. Like I said, I'm not sure where my thumbnail shows up. I guess it shows up in YouTube. But yeah, if you can fire it off to Rory and let him show it to me. I don't really have time to mess with it at the moment, but yeah, I think that's great if you're a designer. Yep, you made a great thumbnail for Rory, which he likes. Yeah, I'll ask him about that, but sure, you can make one for me. Typically, my last name is Wyse, so I have an owl for my thumbnail and most of my medias that I'm on. I don't worry too much about that. I'm much more interested in producing results for people who are trying to learn how to trade. Yeah, you mail. I'm sure that's you can do that. That's not a problem at all. Yeah, I appreciate it. Again, I'm out of Palantir. That was a nice trade. I already got another XLE straddle at 52.50, $1.29. Yeah, $1.29 is more than the ATR right now. There's a lot of volatility in there right now, Ari, because of this move in oil. It just as a suggestion, it might be better to wait for the IV to come in a little bit. But if it moves, you can get profits on it pretty quickly today because it's moving a lot. But if it does start to compress, you're going to get some time decay and some volatility already in. Okay. All right. $12.44 here. $55% profit. And Tesla Joe, nice job. Hey Sean, thanks so much for Palantir. Got in at 225, out at 335. Nice. Shy futures just popped up. 1K a contract. Yep. News. Tech. I'm a technical analyst. I do technical analysis on stock charts. But one thing you always have to remember is news takes precedence over technicals. And news would be, that's why you can't really take stocks long or short over earnings, because news is going to take precedence over any kind of technicals that you've got on a stock. So that's what happens with USO. I mean, that was a news related move, not technical. So then you have to make a decision of whether you want to chase this or take it back down, or what's going to happen, because this is news about canceling the Iran talks on Friday. So this all of a sudden leads to oil prices going up, because there's likely going to be what they're assuming is there may be an attack on Iran, which of course is going to cut down on the amount of oil coming out of there, which means the oil price is going to go up. And we've been through this several times already this year, or last year. All right, about 12:46. I'm going to get lunch here in about 10 minutes. I exited my Palantir position for nice profit. And I'm going to look for a few more, but I'm going to take lunch in a little bit. I'll be looking for some more SPY Super System trades on stocks or I don't think I'm going to trade the indexes today. Uh, you can grab them, but I mean, there's just they keep retracing and then come back down again, and then retrace and then come back down again. So tough to trade, and the Qs right now are really low.
Official says Tehran is fully ready to hold talks with U.S. only on nuclear issue.
Tehran wants to hold talks, but only on nuclear issues. They don't want to talk about anything else, which I assume is about the protests that are going on, etc., over there. So we'll see what's going to happen here. If the talks go back on again, you can go ahead and short USO.
More comment says U.S. insistence on discussing non-nuclear issues could jeopardize talks in Oman.
Palantir, Qs right now are trading at 601.44. The last support level on them was 682.98. No, sorry, that's on the SPY. My support levels on the Qs. Yeah, 602 or 602.29, which has just gone through, and now you get 598.20 on the Qs. 598.20 is the next support level on the Qs. Took 19% off a QUBT in the money puts. Good job. Very nice job. Silver's still coming down. Again, I'm on a Palantir for profit. So I've traded Tesla today twice for profits on UNCAT trades, also Palantir. And I'm still in FIG for a Friday expiration, and I'm still in my silver straddle. The Schwab, which is a weekly ATM, trading at 103.52. This is really, really trading beautifully for us right now. Hey, you're welcome, Mimroy. The early morning call out of Palantir took it 3 times. Pretty good profits. Nice job. Nice trading. Yeah, it's still short. I mean, it's still short. You can see it's still short, but I've taken my profits and I'm going to eat this in a minute, so I don't want to sit here and stare at it. Again, I'm in FIG. This is a expiring Friday. This is a $19 put. This is kind of a very speculative type trade because it's so far out of the money. HIM's getting smoked today. HIMS coming down quite a bit. Again, you had a couple of big volume purchases in here and then come rolling right back down again. Palantir still coming in slowly. And Tesla also still coming in. Can I take a look at EA, Max? I'm sure. EA over here. 5-minute chart on EA, pretty nice short. Whew. It's coming off of earnings. This is really, I'm not sure I even understand this chart. Is this thing in a buyout situation? This looks like this was going to be a buyout, and that's what this looks like here. Look at the movement in this on the daily chart. That's like somebody offered to buy him. Why it's flushing down like this today, unless perhaps the deal is off, or could be taken off, and you basically have a gap fill that it's just filled right here. That's pretty bizarre. That's got to have something to do with that offer. I don't know that I dare touch it. Because these are not big, huge moves here. You see, this is 197, 196.80. These are 20-cent moves. This is when you go up to the daily chart, you see something like that. I don't really want to mess around with a stock that's in some sort of a buyout situation if I don't understand it, which I don't. I don't understand that at all. Hey Frank, EA was going to be bought out by Saudi Arabia Fund. You thought? Well, yeah, I don't know why all of a sudden it's pulling down, but yeah, I knew there was some sort of a deal on it. But these moves, again, these are not huge moves in a $200 stock. All right, I'm going to grab some lunch, and thanks everybody. Hey, listen, thanks everybody on YouTube. I appreciate it. Again, you can go to rightlinetrading.com if you want to get some information on joining the room. We're here every day, market open to market close, except for my lunchtime. And when we talk about stocks, options, we post things that we like. Right now, we're not doing much posting of any swing trades because the market is garbage. You don't know which way it's going to go. But we also talk about what's called SPY super system trades in the room. Those are trades off the SPY, the Q, the IWM, and any kind of stocks that follow specific criteria that we've got. And then we have the UMCAT strategy for intraday trades as well. Those use out of the money puts and calls, which are much riskier, but I have a very defined video on how to trade those. And they're very, very successful if you can pick the right ones. I had 2 in Tesla today and 1 in Palantir, worked beautifully. I had 7 yesterday, all win, no, 6 winners, 1 small loser yesterday, so pretty good. All right, and again, you can also buy the software. This is a SPY Super System software. Tells us whether institutions are buying or selling at the time. We use it for 5-minute charts. We use it for daily charts for swing trades. Get some scans here. This is a relative strength scan, relative weakness scan. This scan down here is potential swing trades, long, and these can be set up for cascading up on a daily basis, cascading down on a daily basis to look for additional stocks, perhaps to trade long or short for a swing. I keep it up here on the 5-minute chart during the day looking for intraday trades. All right, so there's where we are. That's what you can get. And again, thanks very much for being here today. I appreciate it. We'll be back again tomorrow around 11:30, and we'll see you then. Have a great afternoon and trade well.